Ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Hello and welcome to Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom, which is one of my favorite games of all time. It is easily the best 3D platformer I have ever played. It is absolutely glorious and a magnificent triumph in terms of level design, platforming, movement, camera controls, and just game design in general. I love it to bits. I've loved it since the first day I played it, and I still love it almost 20 years later. And if you recognize this game from earlier on my channel, I have made a walkthrough of this game previously, but the microphone quality for that was absolutely horrendous, and I think I could have done a better job actually structuring the way in which I approached the walkthrough and how I handled all the objectives and described things. So I figured with the 1-year anniversary of the release of Rehydrated coming up in June, then it'd be a perfect time for me to revisit this game and redo my walkthrough with updated quality for the microphone, obviously, and some updated tips, tricks, and advice for getting through this game. So, without further ado, let's get straight into this, start a brand new game, and we'll just overwrite, any of these will do, we'll just overwrite this one, and jump straight into Battle for Bikini Bottom. Here we go.
Welcome to Bikini Bottom, a normally peaceful undersea sanctuary. Today it will be transformed into a theater of pure horror, wherein our little yellow friend will play the starring role.
Today is the big day. I have devised an ingenious plan to finally steal the Krabby Patty formula. And if Bikini Bottom happens to get demolished in the process, oh well. With my brand new Duplicatotron 3000, I'll clone an army of robots that will wreak mayhem and destruction at my command. One last review of the checklist. Let's see. Item number 1, is Plankton a genius? Answer yes. Okay, checklist complete. Throw in the switch. Welcome, my perfectly obedient robot army. Hang on. I want to get a photo for my scrapbook. Hey, hello? What do you think you're doing? Oh, no, wait! But I'm your master! I made you! No! Oh, my good China!
Another perfect day playing robots and racehorses.
Yeah, only I keep getting the racehorses and the robots mixed up.
Wouldn't it be great if we had real robots to play with, Patrick? I'd name mine Robo Jr. or Zorlon or maybe Frankie.
Yeah, these unreal robots are getting boring. Hey, what if we put the robots in here?
Oh, how shellfish of you.
It's not just any shell. It's my magic wishing shell.
Wow, that's great, Patrick.
So we put the toy robots in here.
Okay.
Then we say the magic wishing words and shake the magic wishing shell.
Okay.
Then we go to sleep, and in the morning, we'll have real robots to play with!
But Patrick, aren't we going to say the magic wishing words?
You already did!
So, okay is the magic wishing word?
It used to be Alakazama Alabala Wiesna Tikitana Fushbar Griddle Bits von Wiederschnauzer, but I kept forgetting it.
Are you sure this'll work?
Sure! Last week, I only had one big cookie crumb and I was really hungry. So I put my cookie crumb in the magic wishing shell, then I said the magic wishing word and shook it, and in the morning I had lots of little cookie crumbs!
Patrick, I proclaim that tomorrow is going to be the best day ever.
Good night, SpongeBob.
Good night, Patrick.
The next morning.
Gonna play with robots, gonna play with robots, gonna play with robots, gonna play with... Wow! Gary, did you do that? Yeah, Gary. It sure looks like we're in a doozy of a pickle. I think I'm gonna have to learn a lot in order to fix this mess. Meow. What a fantastic idea! These signs will provide important tips to help me out. How do I read the signs? Meow. Oh, okay. Press this button to read the signs. Meow. So if I want to come back and talk to you again, just walk up to you and press this button. I'd better get started now, Gary. I think that this is going to be a very long day.
Alright, so first things first, we're going to go over the basic controls. Left and left stick to move around, as is to be expected. The A button is to jump. You can either do a short jump by tapping it, or a long jump or a high jump by holding it down. And of course, double jumping is an option as well. There's another thing you can do, because the X button is what you use to attack, that you can spin to attack. And if we can combine jumping with spinning into what's called spin stalling. So if you double jump and then press the X button, it will extend your midair momentum for just a little bit, which allows you to make even wider jumps, and you will see me use this a lot throughout the course of the game. Now, B button doesn't do anything by default, but if you jump and then press B, you'll do a little bit of a ground pound thing. Pressing the Y button will allow you to do a bubble bash into the air. And those are the basic controls for the moment, aside from things like, of course, the right trigger, which will allow you to speak to people and interact with signs and things like that. The left trigger doesn't do anything for the moment, it will do something eventually. And the white button doesn't do anything, but the black button does pull up the UI, which is your health, golden spatula counter, shiny object counter, and sock counter. And of course, there's the pause button, but, you know, it's obvious. Anyway, now that we have all the basic controls, we're going to go ahead and move around through... Oh, and also the right stick controls the camera, right. So our first objective is to get out of SpongeBob's house. And to do that, it's pretty simple. All we need to do is collect 50 shiny objects. Oh, I didn't want to skip that.
Ahoy there, SpongeBob. As a faithful crew member of the Krusty Krab, you've been, promoted to head shiny object collector. That's right, a promotion. So what this here new job entails is you collecting all these shiny objects that the robots are leaving behind and bringing them to me. Now stop seahorsing around and get busy collecting.
Anyway, yeah, so we need 50 shiny objects in order to open this door where a golden spatula is hidden, and we need that first golden spatula in order to open the door to exit SpongeBob's house. Now, that's not all we're going to be doing, because there's some secrets hidden behind this door over here, which we can open right now for just 10 shiny objects, which we're going to tackle in just a moment. And so yeah, but before we go, we're going to get a few more shiny objects located in this room, which we can just jump around real quick to collect, and then... So if we want to, we could open this door right now and grab the golden spatula and just leave. But we don't want to do that because we want to check out what other secrets are waiting inside the rest of SpongeBob's house. Okay, so for the time being, we're just going to go ahead and grab these extra shiny objects. And there's a little bit of a demonstration over on the left-hand side of the area that we can interact with if you so choose to, which introduces the concept of health. This is a pair of SpongeBob's underwear. SpongeBob will lose a pair of underwear every time he gets hit by a robot or touches dangerous objects or surfaces. Like this. Once SpongeBob has lost all his underwear, he must start that area over again. SpongeBob may get back underwear he has lost by collecting additional pairs along the way. SpongeBob starts out by, wearing 3 pairs of underwear, but there are special pairs of golden underwear hidden in Bikini Bottom, which, if found, will allow SpongeBob to wear more than 3 pairs at a time. SpongeBob can check how many pairs of underwear he has on by pressing the black button. Yeah, so basically this is your health system for the game. We start off with a total of 3, and we can unlock the ability to have more hit points the further the further we get into the game. So yeah, that's how health works. And now basically this next one is just going to teach you everything that I already taught you. So it's going to introduce the concept of the UI, which with the black button. It's going to introduce the concept of doing a bubble spin with the X button. It's going to introduce the concept of doing a bubble bounce with the B button, a bubble bash with the Y button, and I believe reading signs. Oh no, sorry, this is how you pause. Yeah, so everything that I told you is what these signs are here to teach you, and then there's a bunch of buttons in here to interact with. This is just a tutorial level. It's basically just here to make sure you understand the basic controls before it sets you free into the open world of this game, because I didn't mention that, but this game is it's an open world game. It sets you free into a bunch of open-ended levels that are just completely, you're allowed to explore them to your heart's content, explore every last nook and cranny, and they're completely open-ended with no linear nature to them in the slightest, and it is glorious. And we're going to experience this magical adventure all together, and I'm going to help you through the game all the way. We're going to be collecting every single golden spatula, all 100, of course finding all 80 of Patrick's socks, and exploring every level as much as we possibly can. It's going to be a fun ride. Alright, so what we want to do here is we want to actually, we're going to bubble bounce right here, because doing this is going to release the trampoline. You want to release the trampoline first. Next, we are going, this part isn't required, but it's the way the game wants you to do it. You want to release the bubble, you want a bubble bash here to release a beach ball, and then you're supposed to guide the beach ball over to the door right here, then jump off the beach ball to hit that button. Now, it's not required because you can actually just jump on top of the door and then jump over here to hit the button. So it's not necessary per se, but it is the way the game wants you to do it, so we're going to do it this way. And that will unleash a bunch of platforms, which you can then jump across to grab our first sock of the game. And to do that, we're going to bounce up on this trampoline right here, which we dropped down earlier, spin stall to reach this first platform, and then double jump across the others to grab our first sock. Now, I haven't explained socks yet, but basically, I'm not going to, because Patrick's going to do all that work for me once we get outside SpongeBob's house. But that is everything that we can collect inside of the pineapple for the time being. The basic controls have been explained, as is the health system, the UI, and all that. So now all we have to do is unlock SpongeBob's closet, step inside, and collect our first golden spatula of the game. This is a golden spatula. Golden spatulas are needed to unlock new areas of Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob will need to collect many golden spatulas in order to find and defeat the source of the rampaging robots. So yeah, in simpler terms, it's the game's main collectible. Such a, it's basically the Power Star or Power Moon or Dragon Egg, or whatever you want to equate this to in terms of the main collectible for the 3D platformer. So let's collect our first one right now. Like I said, there are 100 over the course of the game, so it's going to be one wild ride, and I can't wait to get started. But with that, we've explored SpongeBob's house in its entirety, so now we can head for the main door, unlock it, and step out into the great unknown.
There's nothing like the sounds of your own neighborhood.
Go away, SpongeBob. You're polluting my thinking space.
Trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula again, eh, Plankton? Well, you won't get away with it.
I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got to figure out how to regain control of the chum bucket from those robots.
Where did they come from?
Where? I don't know. Not for me, though, that's for sure. They just showed up out of nowhere and started calling me rude names and throwing things. They even bent all my spoons. I love those spoons like they were my children.
That's terrible.
Oh, won't you help me stop them? Before they bend all my forks?
Not the forks! Of course I'll help. But wait, I'm supposed to collect a whole lot of golden spatulas.
Golden spatulas, eh? SpongeBob, if you could get me back into the chum bucket, I'll give you a bucket full of golden spatulas. In your dreams.
You've got a deal.
Alright, welcome to Bikini Bottom. This is going to serve as our main hub world for the game, from which all of the levels we can explore are going to stem from. So there, as you can see, there's a couple that you can see right now. So there's Jellyfish Fields over there, downtown Bikini Bottom over there, and there's another one, Goo Lagoon, all the way in the back. And there's going to be a lot more you can see in the distance, such as Sand Mountain over there, Shady Shoals, Sandy's Tree Dome, and so many more wonderful locations we're going to get the chance to explore. But we're not actually going to be exploring them any in this episode, because this episode is just going to be mopping up everything in Bikini Bottom itself, because believe it or not, there are a couple tasks we can complete in this main hub area. So the stuff in Squidward's house, Patrick's house, that we can collect. Oh, and there's also something on top of SpongeBob's house that we can collect, and we're going to make sure we mop up all of this stuff before we start exploring the main levels themselves, which we're going to do starting in tomorrow's episode. But for the time being, we're just going to start heading around, and the first person I want to talk to is Bubble Buddy.
Hey, SpongeBob! I just dropped by to give you a bubble hand.
Bubble Buddy.
You see, you're going to need to learn some new bubble-blowing moves if you're going to journey to the 9th dimension and defeat the giant monkey man.
But all I need to do is figure out how to get rid of these robots.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I've been in the soap bottle a little too long. Where were we?
Something about new bubble moves.
Right! Press this button, and you'll launch yourself straight up in the air with bubble power that defeats anything that is directly above you. Try it out!
Yeah, so nothing we haven't learned up until this point. I've introduced the concept of bubble bashing, but you actually don't want to break this just yet, because we're going to first jump on top of these so that we can grab a blue shiny object, assuming I don't miserably fail platforming just like I just did. Because the blue shiny objects, the most valuable shiny objects, are the purple shiny objects, while the blue ones are the second most valuable in the game. So you want to make sure you grab those if you can, because we are going to have to be doing a lot of grinding for shiny objects. Although I do have a method for grinding shiny objects, which is pretty well known in the Battle for Bikini Bottom speedrunning community, which I will be teaching you how to do a little bit later, because as you heard from Mr. Krabs, we're gonna have to find a lot of shiny objects later in this game. And in fact, I'm gonna go talk to him about that right now so that I can kind of introduce the concept of shiny object grinding, and then I'll elaborate on it a bit later when it's actually more relevant.
SpongeBob, this flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship. No money means no more Krusty Krab. No more Krusty Krab means no more fry cooking for you.
No more fry cooking?
But because you're gullible, I'm gonna help you out. And of course make a small profit in return. I've got a few golden spatulas that I'll be willing to trade to you for some of those shiny objects.
You will?
Of course. What are employers for? Besides, them shiny objects is worth lots of money. Your treasure chest's looking a bit light, boy. Do you think I've got bilge water on the brain? I ain't running a charity here. Come back when you've got enough shiny objects to trade.
Yeah, so every single one of Mr. Krabs' golden spatulas is earned through trading in shiny objects, and they're not cheap. That starts off pretty simple with 3,000 shiny objects, but by the end, you're going to be paying a lot of shiny objects in order to get all the golden spatulas. And of course, because this is 100% walkthrough, we're going to be getting all of them. However, trust me when I tell you that it is not as intimidating as it seems, because I have three methods for grinding shiny objects that I will be sharing with you later in the walkthrough when we actually are going to get his shiny objects, or get his golden spatulas. I'm not going to get them right now because obviously it's early game, but after we get a certain ability later in the game, then I'm going to show you 3 consistent methods for grinding shiny objects. But for now, we're just going to focus on making our way through the levels, and then we'll revisit Mr. Krabs and his shiny object problem. But for now, we are going to get the golden spatula that's on top of Sponge's pineapple. And to do that, first we're going to hit this button by bubble bashing. That's going to start a timer for those 2 little platforms hovering between the pineapple and Squidward's tiki. Then run over here and do a bubble bounce to smash this button to create another platform to spawn in. Then quickly double jump on top of Patrick's rock, and then on top of this platform if you can make it. Turns out I missed the cycle, but that's fine because we'll still have plenty of time to make this work. We just gotta wait for the platform to come back, hop on it, and then we can wait for it to take us back up. And then we're going to quickly jump from the ear of the tiki to the eyebrow, up on top of the tiki itself to grab a pair of golden underwear, jump between these 2 platforms, and the golden spatula is ours. Now, I had to talk pretty fast to that so I could make sure we actually got to the pineapple in time before the platforms disappeared. But basically, you may have noticed that when we picked up the pair of golden underwear, we gained an additional health point. These are the pairs that were talked about inside of SpongeBob's pineapple, where for each golden underwear you acquire, you gain an additional health point, which is going to be very useful the further on we get into the game. But that's all that we can take care of for now. So what we're going to do next is head into Squidward's tiki.
First, those stupid robots ruined a perfectly relaxing mud bath this morning, and now you show up. Can my day get any more dreary?
I am so sorry, Squidward. Patrick and I were just playing a game.
Oh, I correct myself. I should have known that whole robot problem involved both of you.
Squidward, I don't know what to do. How can I fix everything?
Why don't you move to another town? That should help out more than enough. Ha! Ha! Move to another town. I cracked me up. But seriously, just jump around like an idiot. That should at least make me smile.
Alright, so there's 2 things that we can obtain in here. A golden spatula and a sock. To get the golden spatula, literally all you have to do is just jump 10 times in a row. That's literally it. You just have to jump around like an idiot and make Squidward mad. But there's also a sock to obtain, and to get the sock, you have to break every single object inside of Squidward's house, including defacing him by attacking his portrait right here. And that will cause the sock to spawn. So breaking everything inside Squidward's house causes the sock to spawn, and jumping 10 times in a row will get Squidward mad enough to the point where he gives you a golden spatula.
Okay, just stop jumping, will you? If you take this golden spatula, will you please go away?
See, Squidward? I knew that you could help me out. You're the best.
Don't touch me.
Alright, so now our grand total is up to 3 golden spatulas, and after we collect this sock, our grand total will be up to 2 socks. Now you may be wondering what the deal is with these socks, and why we're collecting them in the first place. Well, now it's time to finally learn what the deal is with these socks, by talking to none other than Patrick himself, who has a sock right next to him.
Hey, Patrick. Nice sock.
What sock?
The one you're standing on.
Oh, that one. It's lost.
Well, if that one's lost, where are your other socks?
Oh, they're more lost. A bunch of robots came through here and stole my whole sock collection. I could use some help getting them back.
Sure thing, Patrick. What are best friends for?
Okay then, for every 10 socks you bring back to me, I'll give you a golden turkey baster.
You mean spatula?
Bless you.
So there's your reason for why we need to collect socks. We need to collect Golden Spatulas to unlock more levels, and we need to collect socks so that we can trade in said socks to Patrick so that we can get Golden Spatulas. We need to trade in, he'll give us 1 Golden Spatula for every 10 socks we give in, and because he gives us 8 Golden Spatulas, that means we need to collect 80 socks. And don't worry, I know the location of every single one of them, as well as precise methods of how to acquire them, so it'll be a walk in the park if you follow along with this walkthrough. For now, the last thing we're going to do in this video is enter Patrick's Rock and obtain one last sock before we call things off. And all you got to do to get this sock is simply break his couch. But before you break his couch, Bubble Bash up on top to grab the blue shiny object right up there. Then you can break his couch. And to be clear, I think you can still get it even if you just stand on top of the rubbled remains of his couch and then Bubble Bash. But I still like to get it beforehand. Doesn't really matter when, though. Anyway, you can grab this sock to make it the fourth and final sock that we're going to be getting this episode, and then we can climb back up the ladder to escape Patrick's Rock, and that will be it for this episode. Alright, so that was a pretty basic introduction to the game. I ran you through the basic controls, as well as the basic elements of the game, such as the health system, the Golden Spatula collection, shiny objects, and of course the sock collection. And that is everything. Those are the basics of Battle for Bikini Bottom. So now all it's left to do is put all those things together and actually start exploring some of the levels, because this is just the hub world. The real fun of the game has yet to begin. Tomorrow we are going to begin by heading off to our first level of the game, Jellyfish Fields, and exploring what secrets that level has to offer. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Goodbye!